You're such a disappointment, can't even help your own family? My brother's words stung. Everyone was looking at me like I was worthless. They laughed, rolled their eyes, and turned their backs on me. None of them knew the truth. None of them knew I had just won millions of dollars, and right then, I was watching them fail a test they didn't even know they were taking. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Before we dive deeper into this story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I love seeing the different places my viewers are tuning in from. Now imagine this, you win millions in the lottery, but instead of shouting it from the rooftops, you keep it a secret. That's exactly what I did. And when I decided to test my family, I uncovered a side of them so dark, it nearly broke me. The very first test I gave them seemed small, but it was the moment everything started to crack. My name is Claire, I'm 29 years old, and for most of my life, I felt invisible in my own family. I wasn't the favorite child, I wasn't the loudest voice, and I wasn't the one anyone came running to for advice or comfort. I was the one who sat quietly at family dinners while everyone else bragged about their jobs, their kids, their new cars. To them, I was just ordinary. At the time, I worked long hours at a small office in Chicago. I barely made enough to cover rent on my tiny one-bedroom apartment. I didn't own a car, I took the bus to work every day, rain or shine. Most of my clothes came from clearance racks. I wasn't starving, but I was exhausted, tired of living paycheck to paycheck while my siblings flaunted their lives on social media. That night, when the numbers appeared on the lottery screen, my whole world shifted. I remember sitting cross-legged on my couch, still in my work clothes, eating leftover noodles from the night before. I had the ticket in my hand, not really expecting anything. When the first number matched, my heart skipped. Then the second. By the time I saw the last number, I couldn't breathe. $8 million. My hands were shaking so badly I dropped the chopsticks. My knees hit the floor. My face went hot and cold all at once. I checked the numbers again and again, convinced I had misread them. But it was real. My life had just changed forever. And yet, I didn't scream. I didn't call anyone. I didn't even text my best friend. I sat there in silence, staring at that little slip of paper, and one thought pushed through the chaos in my head: don't tell anyone. You'd think I would want to celebrate, but no. I knew my family too well. I knew what they were capable of when money was involved. I had seen the way my brother treated my grandmother when she refused to give him a loan. I remembered my parents fighting over my aunt's will, tearing each other apart for a few $1,000s. If they could do that for scraps, what would they do for millions? So I decided, this would be my secret. My test. The first test came faster than I thought. A week later, my old laptop finally gave up. It froze, then crashed, and when I took it to a shop, the guy told me it would cost at least $200 to fix. I didn't need to fix it anymore. I could have bought a brand new one, the best one in the store, 100 times over. But I wanted to see something. I wanted to see how my family would treat me when they thought I was still broke. So I called my sister. My voice trembled a little when I asked, "Hey, can you help me out? My laptop died. I need it for work. It's about $200. I'll pay you back." Silence. Then a sharp laugh. $200? Are you kidding me, Claire? Don't you have savings? You're 29, not 17. I swallowed hard. I don't have it right now. Please, I'll pay you back. Her voice turned cold. I'm not your bank. You need to learn how to manage your money like the rest of us. She hung up before I could even say goodbye. My stomach twisted, but I wasn't done. I tried my parents next. I told them the same story. My dad sighed into the phone, then muttered, "You're always so needy. Why don't you just get a second job like your brother did?" My mom chimed in from the background, "We're already helping your sister with her kids. We can't keep bailing you out too." Bailing me out? I had never asked them for anything in years. Still, they made me feel like I was a burden just for asking. The final blow came when I asked my brother for help. He didn't even pretend to be nice about it. $200? Ha! You're joking, right? Go sell something. Maybe someone will finally pay you for something you're worth. His words cut deep. I could hear laughter in the background. His friends were over, and he was mocking me loud enough for them to join in. That night, I sat in my apartment, staring at the winning ticket I had hidden inside a cookbook. $8 million, and not a single person in my family could lend me $200. Not even with kindness. Not even with respect. I thought the coldness was bad enough. The rejection, the mocking, the way they made me feel smaller than dirt. But I didn't know then, it was only the beginning. Because what they did next, when they thought they had me cornered, made those first betrayals look like nothing at all. The laptop incident was just the beginning. I thought maybe my family was having a bad week, or maybe I had just asked at the wrong time. A small part of me hoped I was overreacting. But deep down, I knew better. And I wasn't done testing them. The next weekend, I called my mom. My voice was soft, almost shaky, because I wanted to sound vulnerable. "Hey, Mom. I'm really swamped at work. Could you watch my place for me? Just help me with groceries, maybe check on the apartment while I'm pulling late hours?" It wasn't money I was asking for this time. Just support. Just a little kindness. Her answer stung. "Claire, you're 29 years old. If you can't handle groceries and work at the same time, then maybe you need to rethink your life. We've got your sister's kids here every other day. We can't babysit you, too." Babysit. That's what she called it. Babysitting me. I tried to explain, it's not about babysitting. I just wanted to feel like I had someone in my corner. But she cut me off. "We're busy. Don't call about this again." And she hung up. I sat there, phone still in my hand, feeling smaller and smaller. A few days later, I bumped into one of my cousins at the grocery store. She gave me a pitying smile. "I heard things are really rough for you right now. Your mom said you can't even handle buying groceries. Is that true?" My stomach dropped. So that's what my mom did after hanging up. She turned my call into a joke, a story to pass around, a piece of gossip. I forced a laugh. "No, it's not true." She probably misunderstood. But inside, my chest burned. My own mother had taken my simple request for help and twisted it into something to laugh about at family gatherings. I imagined them sitting around a table, shaking their heads at poor, helpless Claire who couldn't even manage a shopping cart. The whispers didn't stop there. At work, one of my coworkers, who happened to be friends with my sister, pulled me aside and said, "Hey, are you okay? Your sister told us you've been asking everyone for handouts." Handouts. That was the word she used. I felt my face heat up. My sister hadn't just refused to help me. She had gone around spreading the story that I was begging for money. And now my colleagues, the people I saw every single day, looked at me like I was desperate and pathetic. The truth was, I could have walked into that office and bought the entire company with my winnings. But they didn't know that. All they saw was the version my family painted, the weak, needy, hopeless Claire. And the more they talked, the more my family seemed to enjoy it. At the next family dinner, I tried to sit quietly, but I could feel the eyes on me. My brother smirked as he poured himself a drink. "Claire, you need me to spot you $1 for the bus ride home?" The table erupted in laughter. My father didn't even tell him to stop. My mom just smiled awkwardly, as if it was all in good fun. But it wasn't funny. It was humiliating. Every laugh felt like a knife. I clenched my hands under the table, nails digging into my palms, reminding myself not to scream, not to cry. They had no idea that the joke was on them. That while they mocked me, I had more money than all of them combined. Still, the pain of their cruelty cut deep. This wasn't just about refusing to help. This was about tearing me down, stripping away whatever dignity I had left in their eyes. That night, when I went home, I pulled the winning ticket from the cookbook and stared at it. The paper felt heavy in my hand. How could a simple slip of paper hold so much power, and yet, I still felt powerless. I realized something important then: money couldn't buy love, and it couldn't change the way my family saw me. At least, not yet. But something in their laughter, something in the way they looked at me, told me it wasn't over. They weren't just ignoring me. They weren't just mocking me. No. They were planning something. Something bigger. And when I finally found out what it was, it made all their gossip and humiliation look like child's play. It started with whispers, then it turned into full-on plotting. One night, I got a call from my cousin, the only one in the family who occasionally treated me like a human being. Her voice was low, careful. "Claire. I don't know how to tell you this, but your brother was talking at a barbecue. He said the family thinks you're hiding money. That's why you've been asking for help." I froze. Hiding money? From what? She hesitated. "They think you've got some secret savings. That you're pretending to be broke so you don't have to contribute. He said your parents were talking about confronting you." I felt the blood drain from my face. It wasn't enough for them to mock me. Now they were convinced I was lying. And sure enough, the confrontation came. It was at my father's birthday dinner. Everyone was there, my parents, my siblings, a few cousins. I walked in with a small gift bag, nothing fancy, and I could already feel the tension. Nobody smiled at me. Nobody even said hello. Halfway through the meal, my father slammed his glass on the table. The room went quiet. He looked straight at me. "Claire, we need to talk," he said. His tone wasn't gentle, it was sharp, almost rehearsed. I shifted in my seat. "About what?" My mother crossed her arms. "Stop playing dumb. We know you're hiding money. You've been stringing everyone along, asking for favors, pretending to be poor. Enough is enough." My heart pounded in my chest. "What are you talking about?" "I asked for help one time." My brother cut me off, sneering. "One time? You've been making us all look bad. Running around like some victim. People are laughing at us because you can't even handle your own life." I looked around the table. No one came to my defense. Not even my sister. They all sat there, nodding along, as if I was some criminal who had been caught red-handed. I swallowed hard. "I don't have money. I asked because I needed support. That's it." But my father wasn't listening. He leaned forward, voice low but sharp enough to cut glass. "We want you to prove it. Show us your bank account. Tonight. If you've got nothing to hide, then you won't mind." The room went silent. My hands shook under the table. They wanted proof. They wanted me to open my life to them like I was on trial. I laughed bitterly. "You don't trust me enough to lend me $200, but you trust yourselves to demand my bank statements?" My brother smirked. "Exactly. Prove us wrong. Unless, of course, we're right." That was it. That was the breaking point. Sitting there, surrounded by the very people who were supposed to love me unconditionally, I felt like a stranger. Worse than a stranger, I felt unwanted. Invisible. I could have vanished from that table and they wouldn't have cared, not unless they thought I had something they wanted. The irony cut deep. I had more money than all of them combined, and yet, they treated me like I was worth nothing. I held back tears as I picked at my food, my mind racing. All those years of trying to win their approval, all those nights I spent convincing myself they just didn't understand me, it was all wasted. They didn't want me. They wanted what they thought I had. The meal ended in silence. I left the gift on the table and walked out before dessert was even served. On the bus ride home, I stared out the window, city lights blurring past me, and for the first time in my life, I truly felt alone. Not the kind of alone you feel when you live by yourself. The kind of alone you feel when the people who are supposed to love you most make it clear they never really did. When I got back to my apartment, I sat on the edge of my bed and pulled the winning ticket out of the cookbook. My hands trembled as I held it up to the light. $8 million. 8 million reasons to never let them hurt me again. That night, something hardened inside me. The pain of their accusations, the humiliation of being put on trial in front of the whole family, the loneliness of realizing I had no one to turn to, it all built into something sharper, stronger. I knew then that things couldn't go on the same way. I couldn't keep hiding forever. And that's when I made my decision. It was time to reveal the truth. But not the way they expected. The decision had been burning inside me ever since that birthday dinner. I couldn't sleep, couldn't focus. Every time I replayed their voices in my head, "Prove it, you're lying, you're worthless," something inside me hardened even more. I told myself I would never let them see me cry again. If they wanted proof, I'd give them proof. But not the way they expected. 2 weeks later, my parents hosted a family cookout. Everyone was there, laughing, eating, acting as if nothing had happened. I walked in with a folder tucked under my arm and a calmness I didn't actually feel. As soon as I sat down, my brother smirked. "Look who finally decided to show up. Did you bring those bank statements?" The table chuckled. I smiled thinly. "Actually, yes. I brought something even better." I set the folder on the table, flipped it open, and pulled out a check. Not a fake one. A real cashier's check from the lottery commission, with my name on it, made out for $8 million. The laughter died instantly. My father's fork clattered to the plate. My mother's eyes widened. My sister gasped like the air had been sucked from her lungs. My brother leaned forward, his smirk vanishing. "You're lying," he said. His voice cracked. I slid the check across the table. "Go ahead. Read it." My father snatched it up, scanning the numbers. His face drained of color. This can't be real." "It's real," I said softly. "While you were mocking me, while you were telling people I couldn't even handle buying groceries, I was sitting on millions. And I wanted to see how my family would treat me when they thought I had nothing." The silence was thick, choking. Then came the scrambling. My mother reached for my hand, her voice trembling. "Claire, sweetheart, we didn't mean it. You know how families are, we joke, we tease. But you're one of us. We'll figure this out together." My father nodded quickly. Yes. We can help you invest it. Keep it safe. Make sure no one takes advantage of you." My brother forced a laugh. "Come on, sis, you know I was just kidding with those jokes. Don't take it personal. You know I've always looked out for you." And my sister, she leaned in, her eyes glassy. "Claire, think about what this could do for the family. We've all been struggling. Imagine what we could accomplish if we worked together." I stared at them, at the sudden shift in their faces. A few minutes ago, I was worthless. Now I was a golden ticket. Their words weren't about love. They weren't about family. They were about money. And that's when the anger melted into something sharper, clarity. I pulled my hand away from my mother's grasp. "Do you hear yourselves? The moment you saw the check, you changed. Not once in the last few weeks did any of you show me kindness. Not once did you help when I asked. You laughed. You gossiped. You humiliated me. And now you want me to believe it was all just a joke." No one spoke. I stood, sliding the check back into the folder. "Here's the truth, I don't need you. I never did. And you will never see a single cent of this money. My brother slammed his fist on the table. You can't do that. We're family. I looked him dead in the eye. Family doesn't tear you down when you're struggling. Family doesn't mock you to strangers. Family doesn't put you on trial. Whatever you are, you're not family to me anymore. The room erupted. Pleading voices, angry voices, everyone talking at once. My mother crying, my father shouting, my siblings trying to twist their words into apologies. I let them beg. I let them scramble. And then I walked out, leaving their voices behind me. Outside, the air was cool, the sky painted with the last streaks of sunset. For the first time in years, I felt light. Free. Over the next few weeks, I made choices that shocked them even more. I didn't buy a mansion. I didn't flaunt designer clothes or post photos online. Instead, I paid off my debts, quietly moved into a better apartment, and made sure my cousin, the one who had warned me about their gossip, got help with her college tuition. I donated to shelters, funded scholarships, and gave back to strangers who had shown me more kindness than my own blood ever had. The phone calls kept coming. Begging, threatening, guilt-tripping. I ignored them. I blocked numbers. Because this money wasn't theirs. It never would be. And as the weeks turned into months, I realized something important. Money hadn't changed me. It had revealed them. It had shown me their true faces, greedy, selfish, cruel. And it showed me mine, too. Stronger. Clearer. Finally free. Money didn't change me, I whispered one night as I locked the check away in a safe. It just revealed them. And I finally saw the truth. Family is supposed to stand by you in your darkest moments. They're supposed to be the ones who lift you up when you fall. But sometimes, those moments don't bring people together. Sometimes, they show you who they really are. And that truth can hurt more than anything. So I want to ask you, what would you do if you were me? Would you forgive them, or would you cut them off forever? Tell me in the comments below, because I read every single one and I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if you want more stories like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss the next twist. Thanks for watching, and remember, you deserve respect, no matter what.